Forza Motorsport have just launched what could be the biggest patch yet, because this is addressing the most important issue with the game and the biggest problem that the game has had, and that is the online multiplayer. We all know that the online multiplayer is pure carnage. There's people getting taken out, there's dirty driving, and you don't seem to get matched with other clean drivers. I'm sure everyone watching who's been on Forza has had that experience. They've specifically and actually quite comprehensively said they're going to address this in the Forza Motorsport Update 8. And if we look at the patch notes we're going to get onto, it's really comprehensive. And actually, I think there could be some unintended consequences. There's going to be some controversial changes they're making as well. Let's get into it because I'm intrigued by this. I want to get back into Forza Motorsport, and they are adding a load of content as well. But is it going to be enough to really get people back in the game, including yourself? Let's dive into it and find out. So this is about track toys in terms of sort of the headline bit of this update. So it's cars that are blurring the line between production road cars and high-end race cars. I guess sort of thinking like, you know, Nürburgring eating machines. The update is out now. It's available Xbox, PC, whether you're Microsoft Store or Steam. Here we go into the improvements, and like I said, we're going to get into details here. They say tweaks to the safety ratings, but it's actually very comprehensive. Some changes to the livery editor, I know people want that as well. There's new tyre wear and there's new dynamic conditions, which I don't mention here, but I think that's going to make quite a big change, and I'm not actually convinced that the dynamic weather changes they're making are a good thing. So here we go, vinyl material tool has been added to livery editor. So if you're a livery fiend in the comments, let me know if that's actually what you're looking for. Tyre wear scale has been adjusted as well, so hopefully that's going to make more sense. I wasn't really that keen on the tyre wear in Forza Motorsport originally. It just seemed to go off like way too quick and the multipliers didn't make sense. So hopefully that's going to be a little bit cleaner to understand. Now we come into safety ratings. So they're going to increase the previous number of races safety ratings uses. That in and of itself I don't think is a massive change. And they're going to make on-track collisions more impactful to safety rating. Which, you know, it obviously makes sense. They talked a lot about launch of the game about AI being used to detect like over 500 different types of dirty driving. Didn't seem to make much practical impact on the game. But here we go. In addition, we've improved the matchmaking algorithm to search for a narrow range of safety ratings. For example, players with an S safety rating should no longer be matched with players who have E and D. That could be huge. Obviously, there's a potentially unintended consequence there that you could have very low lobbies. Now, if you're a clean driver, and most drivers are just driving dirtily, so you could end up with a small clean lobby, because Forza Motorsport doesn't have the benefit right now of being a launch title and having super full lobbies, especially on PC. But again, we're going to get onto the details. They've removed some cars from the Forza GT series and added them to Forza Modern Factory Race Car series. This is good. I like the fact that they're looking at the car choices and changing them. I don't think Gran Turismo has ever done that in Gran Turismo Sport or Gran Turismo 7. So we know that you have some weird categories, especially when you get sort of Group 1 in Gran Turismo. They've also added a Porsche Motorsport 935 here. So that is the Le Mans car, has been added to GT. So they're going to recategorize them. So that might indicate some BOP changes and stuff as well, or handling changes. So it's good they're looking at that and trying to have the categories actually making sense. It's always been a flaw of Forza in my experience, especially when we were looking at the rating system they had before in terms of the performance points, because you would end up having some cars in the same category performance points and racing each other, but basically one car would have a massive engine and no brakes, and the other car would have really good brakes and no engine, and it just caused chaos in the races. Unnecessary braking for drive-type AI has been improved. We all know that if you've raced AI, they tend to brake too much, so glad that's been improved. They're adding a new Rivals event this summer with Mobile 1. Obviously, I was involved in the Forza Logitech McLaren G Challenge on Rivals earlier, so it's good to see that they're continuing Rivals. This is with Mobile 1, so hopefully that's going to be a fun one. Hopefully going to be some prizes. I know that I was able to give away some prizes, including a Logitech direct drive wheel. So glad that's continuing. So here we go to the Track Toys tour. These are the sort of blurring the lines. Again, I like the idea that they actually have a sort of theme. I think that helps, and it's not a career mode, but it gives a sense of feeling and context to why we're doing these races. So they've got Ginetta Junior single mate. That's a classic thing in the UK. So I quite like the fact there's going to be their Ginetta G40s. I'm excited to do that. Oh, look how good that looks, that Cayman. Porsche. Weekend Warriors in the Porsche. I like that as well. They're really leaning into these sort of road car heritage cars here. We've got the kit caterums as well. That'll be a lot of fun, hopefully. And then the Elemental RP1. I know literally nothing about that car. 320 horsepower from 2 little engines, so I don't know much about that. And now we go on to the Porsche. Complete all four and get the Porsche car here. Oh, it's the 935. It's a 919 was the Le Mans prototype. The 935 I actually don't know too much about, but that's the car that you win. It's quite interesting. Actually, I'm really surprised I don't know too much about that car. Let me know if you've got any interesting thoughts on that car in the comments. So here we go. You don't have to complete them in a particular week like you did in the past, I believe. So you have all of the time to do it to get that reward car here, the Porsche 935. Remember, the car pass is now exhausted. It's complete if you saw my last video on the updates. So now you're not getting new cars if you had bought the car pass. But Spotlight cars, you can get a 30% discount. That's for everyone there. So it's very confusing, Forza, isn't it? It's a really confusing game. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm struggling to explain it to you, even though I do sim racing. Like, that's my thing. It's the opposite of Gran Turismo. It's like there is so much content, it's actually quite difficult to navigate it. So if you're a VIP member, you're also going to get a 15% discount on the BAC Mono. Like, really weird that's even a thing. Like, okay, it's weird that it merits any sort of text at all. Fine. And there's a VIP Rivals event for it as well. So here we go, VIP cars, and then you're going to get the discount on them as well. It's getting very confusing. Open Class Tour is getting refreshed. Okay, cars that you've already built in the Builders Cup. Remember that Forza Motorsport have completely redone the car progression system that I said at launch was not going to work, and now they've changed it. So you can enter this with your favorite cars. I guess you can really modify them in this Open Class Tour. There we go. They've also moved it from Builders Cup to Featured tab. Okay, you can see that things are afoot here. They're really trying to change the game as the game is in progress. So here we go now to Featured Multiplayer, and we're going to get onto the safety rating changes as well. So this follows the single player stuff, which I actually really like. So we've got Lotus, Mazda, Modern Race Car, Early Factory Race Car, and here are the different series. So this is actually what I'm going to be trying. So I'm going to be trying these out. So this is the Featured Multiplayer Spec and Open. So I'm going to be trying these, and you can see the weeks that they are on for. So Early Factory Race Cars. I mean, this one looks quite fun in the 311. That one might be a bit of a handful, though I do like driving that car. The Mazda I'm all over, obviously. I've done Mazda MX-5 racing in real life. And then Modern Factory looks like it's at Watkins Glen. That should be fun as well. So carrying on here with Featured Rivals. Here we go. Oh my god, there's so much stuff that they change. Well, no, there must be quite a big team here. There's a massive team. Wow. Okay, so more Featured Rivals. Special Rivals event. And the McLaren Senna at Silverstone. So there's going to be a Special Rivals one as well. This one here. There's loads. This is all time trials. If you're new to Forza, Rivals is their time trial stuff. Okay, let's get into patch notes. Here we go. Patch notes. This is, some of it's going to confirm what we saw, but then we're going to get into the details. So just scrolling through here is actually arguably easier to see in this format. There is so much content that changes on a update to update basis. It's kind of crazy. So here we go. Bug fixes, fixing crashes, stability. That was a big issue at the beginning of the game. Remember, a lot of features just didn't work in Forza, like the replays, like taking photos. Those are working now. They're working on other bugs. Memory usage, stuff here. I don't think I've personally had any of those, but it's good that they're fixing it. Gameplay. Here's a tire wear scale option. Okay, so it's added in your Pro Multiplayer, so you can actually change it in your lobbies. Lap times faster than 18 seconds were not being posted. Maybe there was some sort of Y2K bug there. And what else do we have here? Fix an issue where players not using steering assist were giving control of their car at the wrong time. Okay, they're fixing these bugs. Arguably should have been fixed before, but that's what we get these days. Fix an issue where every featured multiplayer post race would only ever show Laguna Seca. Bad news for Laguna Seca fans. So here we go here. Now, this is the bit that I want to show you that was not mentioned at the top, but I think it's kind of a big impact. We've updated feature multiplayer events to use consistent weather conditions and avoid unpredictable weather transitions mid-race. I don't know if that's removing any dynamism in the races, which was really exciting. So unpredictable weather transitions can be very exciting, but they've removed it. And you can see here some more detail on safety ratings. Groups will be connected to matches based on the player with the lowest safety rating. So I guess they're building it from the bottom up. I don't know. Groups will be connected to matches based on the player's lowest safety rating. Let me know in the comments if you know what that means. But curious. And confirmation here that they're working on recategorizing Forza race cars. They've also balanced, oh my goodness, a lot of car balancing. Well, not a lot, but they're starting to balance the cars. Some fairly significant changes here, actually. And track stuff, pop in, Mobile One as part of that promotion that they're doing. Some more car stuff, livery editor, and accessibility as well, and localization, which is for other languages. I just want to show you this as well. Okay, here we go. So this is a message to the motorsport community in May. So they also have spoken about all of the feedback everyone's been giving, whether it's on the forums or under the comments in this video, for example, because we know they watch these videos. So they've changed car progression, and what they're going to do in the future is they're going to add spectate mode, endurance races, car proximity, Forza GT, and Logitech True Force support. So hopefully that's going to be better playing on a wheel. I mean, that's great news for me because I'm using Logitech G Pro to play Forza, and some more color around the safety rating changes here. So you can see, in addition to the shift to longer term racing trends, there'll be increased weighting placed on collisions. So if you keep colliding, you're going to lose safety rating, as opposed to, I guess, I don't know, driving off track or whatnot, the other stuff that goes into calculation. I'm not actually sure, and this is the essence of it. To put it quickly, to put it simply, we're making these changes to match fast, safe drivers with other fast, safe drivers and improve the multiplayer experience. We're aware that introducing these changes into the current Forza race regulations may create concern. So they know that it's going to cause concern. I think it might cause some issues with having full lobbies, but I'm not sure. We're also aware of the clever exploits that players are using to combat intentional ramming. That might be stuff like pausing the game so you ghost, etc. And they're talking about rear-enders. So they're really going to try and work out who the dirty drivers are. It's amazing that so much time and effort is being spent on sort of inevitable human behavior. But obviously when the game launched, they didn't really think that this human behavior was going to occur. What a game like iRacing does, or a sim like iRacing does, it just doesn't apportion blame. It just gives everyone a penalty. So you can see here, and Drivatar AI as well, they say they're improving the AI. So it is a big change, and on the face of it, it could bring around this promised land of clean online racing in Forza. So if that happens, and I can go online and have really clean racing in an S-ranked lobby if I'm an S-ranked safety rating driver, I will be doing a lot more Forza. Because what I don't like in Forza is just getting rammed off the track. I'm like, well, I may as well go on ACC or iRacing. But I would do more Forza, and I would do it with a controller actually as well. So let me know what you think about this in the comments. And yes, if you want to see me do more Forza, let me know as well. And I'll see you in the next video.